All I know is the arts centre. That's all I know. I don't know anything else about it. I mean, but I don't believe that it's just about arts. I think they just call it the arts building. So, you know, I don't think they're all painting and decorating in there. I think there'll be other, it might be more arts, as in arts of study, not actually painting and things like that. For I don't like the modern architecture, but for a 1960s building, I like it. I think it's a bit classy and it's stood the test of time. If it were built in 1964, as I think it was, it's 60 years old and it still looks a nice building, and it's got a really nice interior on it with all the wood and the marble. So modern can be good, but the same modern everywhere starts to become boring and bland.
So what are we going to do today?
Well, we're going to go in these cages to the top. Now, tallest building I've been up in is Blackpool Tower. And so that's taller than this, but the tallest building other than that is where I worked at HSBC when I used to go to the 11th, 12th floor of Griffin House. And that seemed really high, that, and this is a lot higher than that, so it should be interesting up there.
Yeah, well, I understand it was the tallest building in the area at one time. I don't think it is anymore.
No, definitely not. It's now St Paul's Tower back at Peace Gardens that's tallest building in Sheffield.
Right, well, let's go and have a look.
Yeah, brilliant, Steve. So hopefully this lift is free. Oh no, it's not. Trying to find a free lift so I can. So it's been a struggle to find an empty lift, and this is really weird.
So you've never been in one of these lifts?
So I've never been in one of these before, Steve, so it's really strange. I mean, you think it'd be an health and safety risk, wouldn't you? But I'm assuming nobody's ever got hurt because there would have been an absolute outcry, so you can assume that it's completely safe. And let's see how it goes to the top.
Well, people have been hurt on them. I think these were quite popular in the 60s and 70s.
So is it called Paternoster because it's a type lift, or is it because it's about a building or something like that?
I think it's named after might be after the person or something. I'm not actually sure.
So we got a proper lift as well on the other side.
Yeah, that's a normal lift.
Oh, so you don't have to use this then?
Oh no, and there are stairs as well. Well, these sorts of lifts are actually banned now. You can't put a new install in. You can keep an existing one like this, but you can't put a new one in.
Yeah.
But I gather this has been retrofitted with a lot of like sensors for safety.
Do you think it was also on the other side at one bit?
I don't think so, because in a building like this, you really need that for the accessibility. But you need it also for goods and things like that. So you need a normal lift. But this is really convenient for people
for hopping in and out, yeah. So we're only at floor 10. It's quite a long way up, so. Number of departments, Steve.
While you're in the lift, do you want to go over the top?
Oh no. So look, you've got School of Architecture. It's not all painting and decorating, is it, Steve?
No, I think it was arts originally. It's been repurposed for everything else. You've got university management as well on some floors, so it's a multi-purpose building, I understand.
Yeah. Everybody's friendly though, aren't they?
So this is the last one to get off. Do you want to get off here?
Yeah. So it's saying we'll get off here. Last one. We're on floor 18. Oops. Blooming heck, you've got to jump off that, haven't you? So doesn't go any higher than Steve. So now it goes around the top, and you could stay in and go back down, but I had to jump out really sharpish then. That was old Bannerman coming out.
I've got to admit, that's the weirdest feeling I've ever had.
What?
How did you find it?
Well, I felt a really tense feeling. I didn't know if it was because of the building or what. I could feel my teeth were.
Yeah. Right, so this is an experiment. What happens? If we carry on to the top and you don't come off, let's see what happens. What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I hope it comes out. It don't squash me at the top.
Well, it's gone.
So Steve Coates has gone right to the top. So we are at the top and it's going to come back round now. I should have shown him actually going in at the other side. But he's now coming down the other side. He's still alive, he hasn't been crushed. I thought it might flat pack at the top.
So what?
Fancy go round?
Go on then. In fact, I'll film myself going round. So I'm just going to go right over the top and prove it's safe to do so. So I've done a firewalk and so I'm holding on to the handle so I don't shake it, but it's a new one on me, this. So that's the second time I've got out and it's not as shaky.
That's your second time in one. How do you feel now?
Better.
So anybody who's never been in one of these, what would you say to them?
First time it feels a bit strange. And when I came out the first time, I seemed to jump really quick to get out because it was fast. But once you can anticipate the speed of the lift, it's so different.
So this is the top floor of the Arts Tower. I do believe you can go a bit further up for servicing, but this is the last of the main floor. And you can see even that huge block of flats is really dwarfed by the Arts Tower, as are the other blocks of flats across the city.
So it's quite a view from up here. You can absolutely see all over Sheffield. Absolutely fantastic view. You can even see Sheffield Wednesday football ground right over there.
So we're coming down to floor 13. It's actually quite a nice journey down the building. You don't actually notice that it takes a few minutes. Probably because you're constantly moving, whereas if you go in the other lift, you'd have to push the button and then wait for the lift to arrive. So I must admit, I do really like this lift. It's a shame that we don't have lifts like this anymore. Now I can understand why they wouldn't use them for health and safety nowadays, but I do really like the idea, and I think from an engineering perspective it's really good. Obviously the conventional lifts are more accessible, and they're good for, you know, they're accessible for disabilities, they're accessible for goods, and it's just probably more useful and more safe and probably quite inexpensive nowadays. These remaining cars are now going up. So this is as far down as you can go. Go around to one side. The mechanism, you wouldn't want to get your hand caught in that, would you? And here we are on the lower ground floor. So you just had a trip around the Arts Tower. What are your impressions of the Arts Tower?
It's different, you know, like as a student that age, about, you know, it's sort of cool, isn't it, to be in there, especially with those lifts.
So some people think it's a bit scary. Did you feel a bit scared getting on and off?
After the first attempt, no, because it was just timing. Once you've got used to the timing of the lift, because when you get out of it the first time, you have to jump out really quick. But you've just got to get the timing right. If you get the timing right, getting in and getting out. But remember that first time you ever went on an escalator when you was a kid, on your own? And it's that same, well, it's not as bad as that, because it was scary when you're a kid getting on an escalator for the first time, and that's the only feeling. So what's the difference between that and an escalator, end of the day? From the outside, I think the Arts Tower looks classy. I like the marble, and I like the wood, and all of that. So to me, it's 1960s, but it's good. It's been thought out well, I think.